guys, welcome to FTL. Now, if I'm honest, I've wanted to play this game for a really long time on the channel. I just never really got around to doing it. But here it is, FTL, Faster Than Light, and I'm basically going to see if I can win the game. Now, I'm not going to do this as a tutorial, guys. Like, if I was planning to do this as a tutorial on how to play FTL, but if I'm honest, I just want to do a bit of a run through it. It's a bit of a pilot episode, see if you guys like it. If you want to watch me sort of play FTL, I'm planning to do about 20-minute episodes, 15 to 20 minutes, so they're not going to be too long, guys, so hopefully you guys won't get bored. But as much as I'm not doing a tutorial, I'm going to give a brief overview about what FTL is if you've never seen it before. It's basically a game, it's a 2D game, it's about, what, 5 or 6 years old now? And the objective of the game is, you're one of the last ships of the Federation fleet, and you're trying to get to the main Federation base to drop off vital information that only you seem to have, without getting caught by the enemies, destroyed on the way by random encounters that you will sort of go through as you jump from bit to bit and galaxy to galaxy. And yeah, and basically defend your ship from the rebel flagship, which is approaching your main base. So you basically need to get to the main base, drop off the information, and then destroy the enemy flagship, which I've never done before on the easiest game setting. That is how brutally difficult this game is. So without further ado, let's get on with the game, guys. So I'm going to do a brand new game, and I'm just going to do the basic Kestrel design, the basic Kestrel ship. I'm going to leave it, since the Advanced Edition is free, it's a free expansion, I'm going to leave that on, so you guys, if you want to play along with me, I'm going to be playing the Advanced Edition content. So I'm going to be playing with Layout A, and yeah, I'm not really going to touch any of the other settings. I'm not going to name any of my people, because otherwise it is quite sad when you lose them in battle, so I'm going to leave them as they are. We're playing on easy difficulty, let's go. So as you can see, this gives you a bit of basic background information on what the game's all about and what your mission is. So I'm going to let you guys read that if you want to. You'll have to pause the video because I'm going to skip ahead. So what I'm going to do is, my first choice is I'm going to take power away from life support, dump it into weapons and engines, since life support's not really needed until you basically need to heal your crew. So let's jump to the first star system. So there's no actual enemy ship. Oh, yes there is. So I can intervene and defend the outpost to avoid the conflict. I think I'm going to intervene, because at this early in the game, it does kind of pay off to be a bit of a gambler. So let's take out his shields, and let's take out his weapons. So obviously the enemy missile launcher will penetrate shields, so you don't have to worry about those at all. The only problem is this guy can damage my ship. He wouldn't be able to do it with just that weapon, but the fact that he's got a drone that periodically keeps taking out my shields, it is a bit of a problem, but luckily we've taken out his weapons already. Now, the burst lasers you can use as many times as you want, but the missiles you have a certain amount of, so I want to kind of conserve those as much as possible, really. So I've got a reasonable amount of scrap, and when I get enough, the first upgrade I want to do is shields. Now I can't upgrade my shields, but I really haven't got enough power to actually be able to sustain level 2 shields, so I need to upgrade my reactor a bit before I can actually do anything. So I'm going to go to a new location, and there doesn't appear to be any enemy ship there straight away. This new planet shows signs of habitation and great beauty. So yeah, just basic information, nothing really there. So as you can see, this line here, guys, also the enemy fleet are closing in on me, so I do kind of need to... You can sort of take your time and faff around a little bit, but you really do need to sort of get a move on a little bit. Otherwise the rebel fleet will catch you, and then it's never a good time. So we're going to defend the civilian ship from this damn pirate. Let's see, let's take out his shields and his weapons. He does also have a missile launcher. I believe that is the same as mine, that's the Artemis. So he might be able to do some damage to me, let's hope not. Oh, he's fired, maybe it'll miss. No, it didn't. But luckily it didn't do any breach damage or anything, so we're perfectly fine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire again on his shields. I don't think any of my shots are going to miss, so we should be fine. Nope, no shots missed. So there you go, we've taken out that enemy ship. So sometimes these civilian ships, they won't always give you anything. Sometimes they'll just jump off without sort of saying anything really, but luckily that time we got some stuff, and we've now got level 2 shields. This is a good thing really, because it means we don't have to use as many missiles, because with level 2 shields, if they have any 2 burst laser weapons, then it's not going to be much of a problem. Because, like, unless you have a missile launcher that can penetrate shields, they can't do any hull damage to my ship. And you'll see why in a minute. So let's see, fend for yourself and attack. So we've got a rebel disruptor here. So he's got by the looks of it, he's only got one weapon, so I'm not really sure he's actually much of a threat at all. He has got a drone though, so I'm not entirely sure. And because I'm not sure, I'm not going to take my chances, and I'm going to attack him at least once with the Artemis. And then there we go, now he's pretty much vulnerable, so just basically keep attacking him. Let's see, his drone control is there, so let's just take that out, just because it's going to be... It's not causing me any damage as such, it's just very annoying. So, the enemy is trying to charge up their FTL now, so they're trying to go away, but we're not going to let them. And we're going to basically keep fighting. As much as I am quite surprised they haven't offered me a surrender as of yet, but... Okay, 2 fuel, 1 missile, and 20 scrap, not bad. Okay, on to the next section. So I've got a store here. Now stores are pretty cool. They basically allow you to sell and buy different materials for scrap. So I've not really got anything to sell, but have I got anything cool to buy? So I've got a cool crew member here. Who, damn, he looks pretty cool actually. He's got they're an alien race, so it tells you a bit of information about all the different crew members if you want to buy any. I'm going to fix up the hull, because as far as I know this is the only place you can get it, unless you buy a repair drone. I'm also going to buy some missiles and some fuel, and so that's the last thing I want to do is run out of missiles or fuel. Now these distress signals, sometimes they're cool to check out, sometimes they are just baited, like a pirate baiting them. Now there are certain encounters, now these encounters they're not particularly randomised, they're randomised for where they are, but each encounter will always give the same outcome near enough each time. So you can look on a wiki and it basically sort of has a table what all the encounters mean, but I've not really looked at that because I want to kind of play the game a little bit legit here. So we can... So there's a pirate ship with markings crushed between them, crushed between large 2 rocks. So it must be illegally mining the belt without proper equipment. So we can try and dislodge it by shooting the rocks. So I might try and do that, but I think it's going to damage my ship. Oh, no. We actually managed to get it, actually. So we've destroyed the ship and we've got some stuff for it. Sometimes those encounters, though, will damage your ship. So as you can see here, I'm almost in the warning zone. So if I say went back to heal up, the rebels have control of this location. Very dangerous. So we're not going to go there. Let's see, so let's go to the next location. So no life signs detected, nothing of interest really. So I think I'm going to go into the Nebula actually, because it does slow the rebels down a little bit. And, oh damn. Okay, this appears to be having an electrical storm. So my reactor can only operate at half power. So you'll jump into the middle of the plasma storm. Multiple recently incapacitated ships loom in the shadows, briefly illuminated by the lighting. Manually search the wreckage for survivors and equipment. Oh, damn, that was really good actually. So we've got new crew member and some new equipment. That was definitely beneficial. So what was your speciality, my friend? You don't have one. Well, you're my new shields guy now. So I've not got one before, but hey. I think what I'm also going to do is upgrade my sensors. Since this will allow us to sort of see enemies inside their ship, except in Nebulas obviously because sensors are entirely useless. My plan is though in combat is I'm pretty much going to send my... So say I get intrude is what I'm going to use. I'm going to send my pilot into there to sort of do the doors for me, which I think will be a pretty cool idea rather than spending a lot of money on doors. So let's go to a different nebula. Hopefully it won't be going through an electrical storm. No, it's not. There's nothing but static. There's another distress signal. Do we go for it? Yeah, let's go for it. So hail to offer assistance. Try to shield the ship with yours, don't risk it. So I'm a bit of a gambler, so let's go for it. Oh no! We've got some scrap, we've done 4 damage to the hull. I don't know if that's necessarily worth it or not. And I just realised our life support's been off since we went inside that nebula. Not a good thing at all. So let's see. So do we go straight to the exit? No, I've got plenty of fuel. Let's go and do a bit more looking around. So we've got a pirate ship, and no, I'm definitely... I think in these situations, guys, unless the pirate slavers are ridiculously powerful, never ever do this. Like, losing crew members is just awful. So we're going to straight up attack them. So let's do normal procedure, shields, and burst laser. So notice, as you can see guys, now I can actually see all of the interior of their ship, and if you upgrade your sensors again, then it actually allows you to see how charged the enemy's weapons are, which I don't think is really that useful if I'm honest. It's not really useful enough to really warrant getting, in my opinion. Now annoyingly, like what slavers sometimes tend to do is they'll say, oh, like if we'll surrender and then we'll give you one of our slaves in return if you don't kill us all. But they didn't want to do that. They just wanted to die, really, which is quite strange. So let's go to the exit now, and we should be able to advance to the next sector and make our choice on what we want to do. Let's see. So we've got station here. Shows some signs of a battle long ago. The scattered remains of a ship of one station appears to be intact. Moved in to examine the station. Oh, damn! There appears to be some pirates. They appear to have hijacked a rebel ship, and they appear to be... Wow, that's quite strange. But what they've actually done is they've actually sent some crew members in, as you can see. They've only just teleported in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send my pilot over here to go to the doors. So what this is going to do is it's going to stop the enemies from being able to move around as easily now. So rather than just being able to walk through the doors, they now have to get through all these sort of more secured doors now. So we have no evade, but that's not that much of a problem. Because there we go, the weapons are now offline. I think what I'm going to do next is... Okay, they're taking out our sensors, which is a bit of a worry. I think I'm just going to target their weapons, though. So they appear to be trying to get away now, which is quite weird, actually, considering that they still have friendlies on our ship. So we'll not accept their surrender, we'll keep going. And let's see if we can take out the shields before they come back on again. Okay, so the enemies appear to be in the shields now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to essentially try and oxygen starve them, really. It's a bit mean, I know, but I mean, so long as it gets the intruders off the ship, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. So, I believe, yeah, they've taken out my shields and now they've realised there's no oxygen in there, they're now trying to get out of there. So, but we're not going to let them, we're going to keep moving the people around and hopefully we should be able to let them oxygen starve. The only problem is they are trying to get to the door control because they want to... Ideally what they're trying to do is stop us from being able to control the doors as easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send him in the medical bay. I'm going to... Okay, maybe it was a bad idea to take power away from the oxygen. So I'm not even sure where they are now. They're just kind of going around and shooting at everything in my ships. This is not a good idea really, since I believe over time we will eventually take hull damage. Yeah, so we're taking hull damage now, which is not good. But hopefully these guys should now start dying. So I'm going to send this crew member in here. Since they're both being healed in there, they're pretty much invulnerable, even just with just a level 1 med bay. So there we go, I'm just going to send all my crew to go and repair the stuff, and I'll be right back once I've repaired the ship. Okay guys, that's all my repairs patched up. And what I completely forgot to do, guys, actually, is hit this button here to save all my positions for all the crew. So I now will just be able to hit this button here, and it will send all of the crew back to their manned stations. So we can go to the next sector now. We've either got rock-controlled or uncharted Nebula. And if I'm honest, we kind of want to have the option between civilian sectors and hostile sectors. Hostile sectors give you the better loot, but obviously civilian sectors are safer. So I think this route kind of has the nicest mix actually, so I'm going to go for a rock-controlled hostile area. Okay, so rocks aren't particularly friendly, if I'm entirely honest. It's probably, I assumed you guys figured that out already. But yeah, as you can see, asteroid field, and we've got already a rock ship here. So they're lost in the asteroid field, pretty much like us, but they want to kill us. So we're going to have to stop that happening, obviously. So I'm going to attack their shields and their weapons. And what I'm also going to do is click on auto fire, and that means that once the weapons have already been fired off, they will just eventually, they'll just like keep going on and on and on until I stop them, basically. So as you can see, the asteroid field is making it a bit of a pain, if I'm honest. Although, wow, that is a generous bribe. Okay, I'm going to accept that, actually. Although I do pretty much want to get out of this asteroid field as soon as possible, really, because I don't think that we're in that much danger because we have level 2 shields. I mean, if we had level 1 shields, I'd definitely be a bit worried about us taking damage. But now we're out of combat, it shouldn't be too bad. So I'm going to go straight up here. I like to go to locations that have the most connections as possible. Because what it means, basically, is when you have a connection to that thing, by like a potential connection with the yellow lines, it basically tells you information about that galaxy, whether there's a distress signal or a store or something. Okay, there's another rock scout, and I'm surprised these are just scouts, actually. Okay, so let's take out the shields and weapons. Fire at will. Oh, I've just left the door open, I just realised. I wonder what is getting a bit drafty in there. Oh, so they appear to have a bit of resistance actually. I'm not entirely sure why. But luckily our burst laser has actually started a bit of a fight, which is good actually. I believe the fire chance is low, I believe. So possible effect fire. The chance is quite low, it can indeed happen. And fire, in the middle of a battle, fire is just a pain in the arse. It just destroys your systems, it spreads, and it kills your crew members. It's just not good in any situation. Okay, so we are accumulating quite a lot of scrap here, and I think what I'm going to do eventually is just pump it into shields. I think having level 2 shields, well level 3 shields rather, is just a must pretty much. Like, you need at least level 3 shields to take out the flagship. I'm also going to put it into weapons actually, because that increases our evasion, meaning that it becomes considerably harder for enemies to basically attack us because they can miss considerably. Well, considerably more rather. So we've got another asteroid field, and we appear to have a pirate here actually. That's rather bizarre. I was expecting rocks. Okay, so I didn't actually charge the Optimus in time if I had it turned off. But okay, it's not going to cause us that much of an issue, hopefully. So you'll notice every time we sort of get hit and stuff, we're getting like these people getting like extra like bonus to their skills and stuff, indicated by these little green arrows pointing up. So basically when they level up, it basically increases their proficiency. So for example, if he's really proficient in pirating, his so I can see we've got evasion +5 because of his skill. And once it goes fully yellow, that's when they're pretty much maxed out. They are just like the best at that skill possible. And what I'm trying to say with this is, say like you don't use this return crew members to systems, then you get all your crew mixed up. If you send put the person who's been on the pilot the whole time to your shields and stuff, then he starts doing the shields. He's not going to be proficient in doing shields, so you're not going to get that massive bonus that the other guy possibly had. So you do have to consider that. So there doesn't appear to be anything here. Let's jump to the next section. Okay, I think we're going to go to here first, because the rebel fleet is massively behind us. Okay, luckily, like having certain things like improved sensors and different sorts of crew and stuff, you do have these blue options, which normally are better than the other options. So we've done that, but it appears that he did not like the rock crew member and he wants to attack me. Okay, let's take out their shields and weapons. But sometimes you can do that, like if you have improved sensors, you can use those to, say like scout out certain things that are, in my eyes, pretty cool actually. The fact you can sort of do that, you can sort of scan out an area and stuff. Okay, they've taken out our medbay, which really isn't much of a problem if I'm entirely honest. Medbay, easy fix. But first of all, let's take out their... Okay, the weapons are done, and if I'm honest, I feel confident enough that he can go and repair that now, just to save a bit of time. Now, as much as their shields are back up, they've only got level 1 shields, and I believe this burst laser fires out 3 shots. So there we go, we've not got a problem taking out that Mantis Scout. Didn't give us that much loot if I'm honest, but wasn't bad. So I think what I'm going to do now is I can pretty much get full shields. The only problem is I'm going to have to take off one of the power things from my engines to be able to give it to weapons, so we can have full weapons again. So there's a distress signal here, but I kind of want to go here first, and we've got 31 fuel. I don't think I've ever had that much fuel before. So yeah, it's not that bad. So here we go. So this guy's wanting to sell me slaves, and he's also got this sort of elite shield, I believe it's called, and it's basically like an extra layer of shielding you have to take out before you can actually start damaging the ship. So I don't particularly want to buy a slave. I think I'm just going to attack them, and maybe he'll give one to me for free, because I can't actually afford to buy one. I mean, normally they do give you them for free if you like attack them, that they give it as a surrender option. Might work, maybe not. Boom. Okay, let's just use the auto fire to keep letting them go. So as you can see, those elite shields really do make a difference, and it has genuinely made it considerably harder to attack this pirate fighter. So he wants to give away some of one of their crew members. I will happily have a rock crew member. I'm not going to complain. So I didn't even put that guy in shields, damn it. So I think what I'm going to do is actually put him on either doors or shields. I think I'm going to put him on, not doors, shields, doors or sensors rather. I think I'm going to put him on doors actually. That seems a not so bad plan. So this guy appears to be a bit damaged, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send him to medical, let him heal up. and then send him back on his way. The only problem is I can't actually... Will that work? Yeah, it will. So I'm obviously going to have to save the new crew member positions because we have a new crew member. So if I click to return now, it doesn't actually do anything to him because obviously he doesn't have a set station to be at. So I'm going to go and check out this distress signal to see what it is. And let's see what's there. Okay, so there's... So these are the last of their fuel. They're a rock scout, so sometimes these guys can turn out to be pretty nice. Let's give them some fuel. Are they going to give us anything in return? Yeah, here they go. So they gave us some extra scrap as payment. Sometimes they can be a bit cheeky and they'll just like zoom off somewhere, which is a bit annoying. But hey, I guess you can't trust everybody. See, these are letting us hire crew members. I don't think we really need a crew member if I'm entirely honest. I mean, we've got 5 already. We probably could do with a spare, but hey. So anyway, I think this is a good like wrapping up point to wrap up episode 1. I think there's pretty much for this sort of mini series there's only going to be as many episodes as I basically can sort of play really. So say I die like in the next 10 minutes, that'll pretty much be the end of this sort of thing. I am just doing this as a bit of a pilot to see if you guys like it or not. So definitely give me feedback, guys, what you think to me playing FTL. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. Goodbye from Potent Blood.